talking in between about how tough Chris Warren might be to beat, that the only thing that might beat him now is the baby.
Right. It's a possibility.
Well, all we had to do was say that, and he opens up with a split.
Well, he started from behind the last match.
And he looked at his wife again and said, "That's all right. It was just a bad shot." Did you see that?
I saw that Chris Warren made a comeback in the first game of the
See, he doesn't
Johnson,
get the practice on the pair in between.
Dan,
The guy coming on gets as many practice shots as he can get as the commercial break will allow him. Used to be 4 coming on. Now he gets as many as he can get in there.
I think he should get as many as he needs.
I do, too. I agree with that rule wholeheartedly.
Well, sure, because you were a player.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Nothing.
That's why I'm here.
I understand. I think that's the way it should be. Let's see if Bryan Goebel can take advantage of all the practice shots. Marks the spot in frame number 1. Now, here is a very confident bowler.
Yeah. Contrast to Don Mosier. I mean, just the body English and everything else, he just exudes confidence, but he has reason. I mean, he's had great success this year.
Is a player whose game has improved each and every year that he's been out on the national tour.
Yep. And his wife, Kelly, has grown to expect that from him, you know.
Well, I ran into them at the airport this morning. She flew in, always tries to whenever he makes a telecast.
Wow, 2 in a row, creep high, and he leaves the 3-6-9-10.
The dreaded Durbin.
The DD.
It's already gotten 1 player tonight.
Yeah. It's a tough spare.
Well, it's named after you. How do you make this thing?
Well, you've got to come in on the outside here with his hook ball. He should be able to do it. Hit right in here, drive through, get the 9-pin, carry out the 6-10. Perfect.
Just like Michael drew it up. Well, Chris Warren has continued to move up the ladder. I asked him about trying to climb the ladder here this evening.
I started here 5th back in 1992 and finished 2nd to Amuleto Monticelli. So I think things are going to be just the same scenario. If I come out of the gates real strong and just avoid the splits, I'll be tough to beat.
Well, just avoid the splits.
He didn't do that, did he?
Not in the first. But he's a comeback kind of player.
That 8-pin was slow going down again. Did you see that?
It still went down.
I understand that. I'm just saying it was slow. As a player, you see those things. Now, you were a former player.
Sometimes
you
you
bowled
can see
in
too
college.
much.
You bowled in college.
I understand that.
Oh, what a bad break. Swished that 5 and head pin in front of that 7, and the head pin came off like a bullet off the sideboard, but didn't get the 7 pin.
Last year, Bryan Goebel earned $56,000 plus. So far this year, well over $130,000.
Nice year, especially when you're sponsoring yourself, isn't it? Bryan Goebel stands very erect. We can see the straight line as he starts the approach with the ball held high. Now, he doesn't move it the first 2 steps. 1, 2. Now it's basically a 4-step approach. As he gets to the pivot step right here, look at how high that backswing is. Coming with all that leverage, you got his imbalance right here at the foul line. Nice knee bend. A little side turn that time. After the ball is gone, what power when it hits the pins.
I think one of the things that he's really done that's helped him tremendously is he's cut down the amount of loft that he used to utilize.
Yeah. Much smoother release now. I mean, he used to get it out there 10 feet, 8-10 feet.
Ball would bounce a couple of times and then start to go into a roll.
And he doesn't do that anymore. Chris Warren got a strike in. Oh, what a break, Dennis. He's got some of those trip for. Come on. All right.
He has risen to the occasion a number of different times here tonight. Of course, we all know Chris, know him and love him. He's a fighter, this guy.
Oh, yeah. All the way. All 115 pounds of him. I'll tell you what, he'll fight you right down to the bitter.
He's going to hit you with all of it.
Wow.
A lot more room on that shot.
Well, it's really one of the few errant shots he's made right. I mean, every time he's gone right, he's gotten it back. I mean, right now, though, I think he'll throw hard and straight at the 2-5. That could have got him even in the match. It was a big shot, especially after a trip 4. Nice break. Oh, boy.
Up.
2 opens in 5 frames. He found out last game that you can't do that and win out here.
Maggie's saying, well, he's come back a couple of different times, but Christopher, you've really dug yourself a hole here.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Leading by 24, could be 34 if he strikes on this shot.
Oh, what a nice break. I thought he was going high, and he trips the 4-pin out of there. Ball creeps a little high, as we see right here. Oh, the 2-pin goes to the side, and the neck of the 2-pin gets that 4. And his reaction is, all right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Chris Warren tripped the 4 and didn't take advantage of it. Let's see what Goebel does.
Light hit shaker. 5 strikes in 6 frames. A big lead for Bryan Goebel, who was thinking about title number 3. He's got to get by Chris Warren first, but if he does, he'll face Eric Forkel for first place here in Detroit. Have right now Chris Warren.
And he might be shuddering to be hit by that powerful ball, but he's got to get a couple of them in here. You got to start swinging strikes.
Well, he's gone to the Mike Urban school of thinking, I'd rather be light than high on the right-hand lane.
He's still, especially with his ball. He was light the last time, though, Dan, and didn't get it to the pocket. You know, the 1 has to hit the 2 in order to get the ball really into the pocket. To have any chance in this match, he's got to strike here, Denny. He still can take it out the sheet for 235. Goebel going at a 229 pace right now.
Needs help and didn't get it. 3-6 stands on 39.
I know he hasn't run out of gas. It's just that he's making all of his errant shots in this game. They weren't there in the previous 2 games. He's missed the pocket more times now in 7 frames than he did the previous 2 games combined.
Just to keep you updated, if Maggie and Chris don't have their first child between now and next Thursday, labor will be induced on Thursday, and they're going to have a baby one way or another.
By Thursday.
Right.
Well, today is only Tuesday, or it was Wednesday. Thursday's tomorrow. Are we talking about tomorrow?
Thursday.
Oh, next Thursday. Okay. Well, I'm trying to get this straight.
What are you nervous for?
Well, babies are eventful times. Solid tempo. But at this point in the match, make the spare and move on to the next frame. Comfortable lead, over 40 pins.
You mentioned the number 2 position as being the advantageous position.
Well, it is, because you're coming on, I mean, in a situation like this, Warren has won 2 games, maybe a slight letdown. He wins 1 game, Goebel being he, goes for the title. It's a beautiful position to be in, I think.
43-pin lead in the 8th frame now for Bryan Goebel. The only lefty on the telecast, Eric Forkel, led this tournament. So we'll have a lefty-righty combination for the title.
Yeah, well, that was guaranteed no matter what.
Right.
Goebel just keeps throwing him in the pocket. Right now, Chris Warren has to strike out. 215 is the best he can get. He has to hope for an open from Goebel, and even then, that wouldn't bring the count down enough. So, I mean, it just looks like Goebel's going to move on.
Mm-hmm. Nice run for Chris Warren. Just didn't quite complete the climbing of the ladder. And really, if the truth be known, hasn't bowled a particularly good game here in the semifinal.
Yeah, really poor game. I mean, it's like the lanes went through a transition period at this point in time, and he needed to make a bigger move to the left hand.
Just didn't quite catch it.
Competitive side. He's practicing on the spare. Did you see that? I mean, that shows you something about him. I mean, even though he's out of this match, he's still practicing for the pocket on that spare, and he was high again. So.
Confident Bryan Goebel waiting now for a shot at title number 3 here in '94.
That's deeper. And that's flush. A 4-pin stands, but he got in deeper with that shot. He just, you know, he was able to play further right for those first 2 games, but this game he wasn't able to do it. Goebel take this out for 258 then.
Where Chris Warren was a game ago.
Yep. Chris Warren had, what, 16 strikes the first 2 games? In this game, he's got 3. Now, Bryan's going to have to find a way to carry on the right lane the last game.
I think it's just a question of losing a little intensity, too. You know, you've got the match won, no reason to max out and waste it now. Save it a little bit. He's really done nothing but improve over the last couple of years, and I asked Bryan if he felt like he had been able to take his game to another level, especially this year.
Yeah, I think I have. I worked hard on my game all year last year, and at the end of the year, I was really throwing the ball pretty good. I came out this winter really strong, picked up some momentum, was bowling great at the end of the winter tour, took some time off, came out a little slow in the summer, and then picked it up with a win again, and I was throwing the ball great at the end of the summer again. Little lull there as I started the fall, but once again, I've got things going again. I'm gaining on my confidence is growing, throwing the ball really well this week. I really think I can win today. I hope I get a chance to beat Eric.
And that chance he will have.
Absolutely. Very professional game. Clean game in the 220s. He finishes here with a strike. You'll have 7 strikes.
Bowls out of Merriam, Kansas, the Kansas City area. Settles in for a beautiful 226.
Chris, 5,000 richer. He was looking at 14, though.
It's interesting. Bryan Goebel shot 226. That's what he averaged on this pair of lanes throughout the week.
Well, I guess Harry has made a mistake. Harry let us down here.
Harry Sullins, who's never, ever given us a wrong score. Just goes to show
everybody's human. We're thinking too much alike there, Dennis.
And that's scary. What do they say? Great minds think alike. I don't think that is really operable in our situation.
You know, I see Chris put his fingers in there. The story we wanted to get in earlier is the tip of that middle finger is dead. He's cut it off 3 times.
Yeah.
That is so
accidentally, yes, and I don't feel anything at all. Trying to put on a little show, couldn't quite do it. All right, when we come back, we'll take a look at our championship frame, and as soon as we're done here this evening,